How's it, ladies and gentle nerds? Today I'm going to talk about college football and the expanded 12-team playoff because everyone knows that has so much to do with science fiction. So this is officially the last year of the 4-team championship playoff series, which did have its problems to say the least. But next year, starting in 2024, they're going to increase the playoffs from 4 teams to 12 teams, which in my opinion is also problematic. I was hoping for a 6-team expansion or a 8-team, but 12 teams I just think is a little bit too many. First off, the Power Four teams that played in their conference championship games are going to have 3 to 4 extra games in this 12-team format compared to 2 extra games in the 4-team playoff format. Next off, the lower seed teams of 6 and below, they're going to have an actual 5 extra games compared to that of 1 bowl game that they have been playing in previous years. Recently, especially a lot more in the last 5 years, players have been sitting out single bowl games so they won't jeopardize their chances to get injured to make it in the NFL. Now think about these lower tier teams in the 12-team playoff, like 6 seeds and below. Do you think these players are actually going to play 5 extra games before they go to the NFL? I foresee the biggest problem is there going to be a mass sit out of players on these lower teams that will just water down the playoffs to the point where it should have just been 6 teams in the first place because the only players that are going to play or in the top 6 seeds. But that's neither here nor there. What I'm here to talk about today is there is a simple solution to solve this problem, and I'm actually surprised it hasn't been implemented already. So this video expedition, I'm going to give you my adjusted ratio college football playoff that not only includes 12 teams, but also gives you the same amount of games played in the previous 4-team playoff. In this amended playoff bracket, the first round of the playoffs begins in week 14 at the end of the season during the conference championship games. The Power Four conference games automatically qualify the 8 title contender teams into round 1 of the playoffs in week 14. The SEC's Alabama versus Georgia, the Big 12's Oklahoma versus Arizona, Michigan versus Oregon from the Big Ten, along with the ACC's Louisville versus Florida State. And FYI, this is a random playoff projection for the upcoming season of 2024. Next, the 2 highest-ranked teams not appearing in a Power Four conference title game are selected as the 2 at-large bids, filling the bottom bracket with Ohio State and Missouri. The final lower bracket hosts the 2 highest-ranked Group of 5 and/or independent teams that happens to be 17th-ranked Notre Dame and 22nd-ranked Tulane, the only non-Power 4 schools making the playoffs and scheduled to play each other the first game with this independent Group of 5 title bracket. The round 1 winners then advance to both semifinal brackets with 3 teams contained in each. The 1 and 2 seeds of Georgia and Oregon receive a bye game into the finals, then to face the winners of Arizona versus Tulane and Florida State versus Missouri. The 6 playoff teams eliminated in round 1 during week 14's playoff games will be awarded spots in the New Year's Six Bowls. To sum up this adjusted 12-team playoff, utilizing week 14's Power Conference title games as round 1 of the 12-team playoff and adding both at-large playing games combined with win or you're out allows the old 4-team format to be replaced with the new semifinal 6-team playoff, thus expanding the postseason by only 2 games. This is in stark contrast to replacing the postseason with a 12-team full playoff expanded by a total of 8 extra games, starting after week 14 of the conference championship games. causing most NFL prospects to likely sit out most or if not all of these low-tier matches of 6 seed brackets and below. Or maybe I'm just a grumpy old man who doesn't like change, yelling at clouds about the 90s when Nebraska used to win national championships.
Why are you not getting why are you not following my story?
Next, the Big Ten is expanding to 18 teams, adding Washington, Oregon, UCLA, and USC. My hypothetical conference alignment format divides the league into 3 subdivisions or pods containing 6 teams each. The Big Ten Western bracket of Washington, Oregon, Nebraska, Minnesota, UCLA, and USC. The Central Subdivision with Wisconsin, Iowa, Northwestern, Illinois, Michigan, and Michigan State. And finally, the Eastern Pod consisting of Maryland, Rutgers, Penn State, Ohio State, Purdue, and Indiana. The Big Ten schedule would start the year with 2 non-conference games continuing into the regular season of 10 in-conference matchups. Each subdivision will play every team in their pod yearly comprised of 5 divisional games. The next 5 will be conference games with the teams from the other 2 Big Ten regional pods. At the end of the regular season, the top 2 ranked teams in the conference with the best records will play in the Big Ten championship games. That additionally serves a dual function as the first round bracket in the 12-team playoff. These 3 regional subdivisions will benefit travel time between the East and West Wing teams for half of the Big Ten season by consolidating the matchups for 5 of these in-pod conference games.
Stop.
But what do you think? Is a current 14 format fine as is? Should it only have expanded to 6 or 8 teams? Or is the new 12-team playoff good as is? Or maybe you prefer the old BCS system? Make sure you hit like and subscribe so the algorithm will be friend. Thank you for watching. This video was produced by a human.